And hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Small Wheels Champion. This is season 3, hosted by Plebian Racing. We are here at Sabuka Circuit in Japan. I just want to go ahead and start this off by doing a lap on board by Luke Bomeister in the 48 Blue Gang car. Let's go see a lap around Sabuka before we get into qualifying today.
Here we are at Tsukuba Circuit, Japan. Turn 1 is a tricky braking zone. Brake hard going up the rise, but make sure you start to come off the brakes when the car gets light to avoid triggering the ABS too much. Driving an MX-5 is all about momentum, carrying mid-corner speed and getting on the throttle as early as possible. Brake at the crest leading into the banking of turn 4. Again, it's important to carry the speed through here, but it's easy to lose the rear in second gear and the exit as the track levels out. Swing all the way to the left to set up for turn 5, and then it's just a lift to get the nose in. Let the camber of the track grab the car, and then hard back on the throttle as early as possible. Drift out wide to set yourself up nicely for turn 7 and 8, braking at the end of the little grey patch on the left. Turn 8 leads onto the longest straight on the track, so it's important to not overdo it going in to make sure you can be on full throttle as early as possible without lighting up the rears. Coming up to turn 9, there's no braking, just a big lift and a hard turn in to get the car rotated. Once the front grips up, it's back hard on the throttle and look for the red and white curbing on the inside to help guide you out for a good run to the finish line. And that's a lap at Tsukuba Circuit.
Right on. Thank you for that lap guide from the Blue Gang. Just want to wrap up what happened with the Small Wheels Championship Season 2. Looked like Penguin took the championship with 203 points, with Martin falling close behind in second with 144. Carson Schultz in third. Dipsectic, Rowe, Kevin Ospina, Smoke, and Patrick Chedion, Joseph Chow, and Santiago making it out to a majority of the races. And we thank them for joining us. As always, we had a wonderful season and we had a lot of fun. But now we are in season 3, and we have some new faces, some new names. This is going to be exciting, folks. I think this is going to be a new grid, new crew of folks for sure, and this is going to be a new learning curve. These MX-5 Cup cars are going to test everybody's patience, I think, with their throttle and their braking. That's for sure. Overtaking is going to be a challenge. Cup cars, limited things you can change in the setup, so these guys are going to be closely racing the entire time they are out on track. As qualifying is now getting underway, let's go ahead and get out to that. Time's coming out. I expect to be, as Martin is eating some of the curb at turn 1. We talked about patience on throttle with that right foot of yours. You do it on the curb, you're going to get spun around, as we are just a couple minutes into qualifying into this Sprint Series Race 1 setup. 2 races, 15 minutes apiece. I'm excited. We haven't done this, I feel like, in a while, but it's only been 2 weeks as normal. And of course, as usual, the grid positions will be reversed in the second race. So think about that for the championship points, and think about that when you're making your way through the grid on race 2. Patience will be the key. Sabuka is a very technical short course circuit, expecting lap times to be in the 101s or 102s for qualifying pace, and somewhere around the 102s to 103s for race pace for the majority of the field, and then slower and slower as you get caught up in battles. And as you can see at the Tsukuba circuit, fairly tight, runoff is short, walls are close, mistakes will be punished, I believe that's for sure. Wow, with Penguin reeling in a 101.961 with only a couple minutes into qualifying as he pulls over and may not go any faster than that right now. Penguin in the purple 72 liveried car with a nice "Don't touch my bum" slapped on the derriere of that bad boy. A clear cautionary tale to everybody behind. Don't get close. Excuse me, you can get close, but don't get too close or familiar, huh? Who else is on their steamers? James Leader going in for a very fast lap. 101.996. Luke Bomeister now coming in with the 101.767. Penguin right behind, still holding on to second place with a 101.961. James Leader, but I'm curious to see what the Lion Red Eel has been up to. Hopefully he's improving on some of his first sectors, but he's not, unfortunately. He was one of the quickest people at the front of the field in free practice, excuse me, as free practice was quite a bit delayed. Sorry for that, folks. Got the server kicked off and underway as fast as we could. We are back trucking away, as he is not going to improve, the newcomer, the Red Eel. Lion Red Eel. I'm going to have to come up with a nickname for him, as I always. He did, excuse me. Was able to improve by a few tenths right through the last corner. And push his way gently through turn one, as we saw in our onboard video lap guide. Short. Let's see. As I fiddle through the cameras. It's not touching the curbing through that fast right-hander. See how deep he goes into this hairpin. Oh. Tucking it in right to the curb. Slamming on the throttle, pushing it out to the runoff curb, and is looking good. If he can keep this up, he might be able to get on the third row. But not quite. Look at these times. Holy Toledo. First through sixth is nearly within a second right now. Seventh through 12th is within a second. I think further back, 13 through 16 are pretty much people that haven't really gotten out and set a really good lap yet. Red Hill still not improving. Let's see who else is out there. Jordan White. I actually do want to take a second to get a look at this one. an interesting livery. Getting the robot Shinji, excuse me. Beautiful colors, high quality image. Nice gloss in the number 1. Wish I knew the name of this anime. Jordan White comes up to turn 1 looking good. In his purple car. Purple and green Hulk liveried anime car. What I am curious about, though, is how much these guys are going to be willing to fight during the opening stages of this race, because it is only 15-minute stint. You can get your elbows out early and, fight for an early lead and try to break away, or break away from the pack and then battle it out towards the end of the race. I think regardless of the pace of the guy in front, you're going to need to be patient and wait it out for as long as you can. Just building the gap. As long as you're building the gap to the guys behind, you need to be patient out here at Tsukuba. Build the gap behind and then duke it out, because I think anywhere you try to go side by side out here, you're going to be losing seconds a lap, and then one costly mistake will cost you multiple positions. Excuse me, I must have marbles in my mouth today. As qualifying is now over, locked in, I can't say I'm surprised. Luke Baumeister with a 101.727. But he's still out there. A lot of people are still out there. Penguin, though, provisional second. James Leader's still out there, taking the checkered. Now he should have. Not improving. Who else is out? Saucepan Willie locked in. Luke is locked in now. Dave Martin not going to improve on that lap. That'll lock him in. James Leader not improving also, giving us a little show of the donuts. Oh, come on. Keep it going, James. You done me dirty. You done me dirty. All right, for qualifying, we have it set now, if I'm not mistaken. Luke Baumeister with the pole position. Penguin hot on the tail of Luke with a 101.961, 0.2 back. James Leader, whoa, only a few hundredths back. 996. Willie, 102.125. First of the 102s should be Jordan White, Dave Martin, Corey Robbins, Carson Schultz for 4 through 8. Lion the Red Eel, the newcomer, looks like he couldn't break the barrier of getting into the 101s. Surprise, surprise. He was quite rapid in free practice, and I was hoping he would be able to get a steamer in. Fortunately, not. Pasha Patterson, also another surprising person in P10. Just goes to show you the strength of the field. And as always, giving the shout out to Pasha Patterson. If you want to see a onboard live commentary point of view, head over to Zero. The O is A0, like the number, bandwidth, over on Twitch. He does live commentary, the onboard shots, a livery showcase at the end of this, at the end of the race, excuse me, and a replay review. So in case you're not entertained by me, go find him. We have Just Row in the Red Bull. We have Zumina, Patrick, Smoke, Jeff Gibson. Hello and welcome to Plebian Racing, Jeff. Glad to have you here. And Sid. I can't get a glimpse on Sid's name. We'll try to pull him up on the registration page during our break. But that's going to be the grid for everybody. 1 through 16, a healthy grid of people out here and a healthy set of lap times. This is going to be so exciting. I'm as excited as I was the first season of the Small Wheels Championship when I was coming in for the first time at Monaco and getting, I think I qualified 3rd or 2nd in racing wheel to wheel. Note these guys was a ton of fun. So If that's something you're interested in doing, and this looks like an interesting series to be a part of, or you have a custom livery you'd like to show off in these beautiful MX5 Cup cars, go to plebianracing.net and go ahead and sign up for this championship and try to sneak in. Obviously, you'll be a race down in the standings, but you could still hang out, have some fun, and trade some paint with us, that's for sure. And that is true. Pasha Patterson getting out-qualified by the newbie. That is Lion Red Eel. Unfortunate timing for that. As we have just a few seconds getting down to 45 before the race is going. All right, the lights are coming on for race 1, season 3 Small Wheels Championship, and the lights are out and away we go. Luke Baumeister gets a healthy lead just by nearly a car's length over Penguin. Let's see if he can hold on in the entry to turn 1, and he is able to successfully do that, hitting the apex. Nice filing in from the backfield, not seeing a lot of incidents or any contacts in the back. Everybody kind of just filing in side by side, single file at the front, one through almost everybody single file now as someone's trying to make a move on the outside. Maybe zooming in. That's Patrick getting a little squirrely. What's going on with him? Losing it on the entry of the hairpin of 1, 2, 3. Back with the leaders. James leader looking at the derriere of Luke Baumeister in a livery he hasn't showcased in a while, putting on the headlights now, and that looks like Penguin's giving a little flashy flash, trying to find his headlight button, but pushed to the wrong one. Doubt that was in frustration. Look at these liveries, look at these cars, look at this racing, it's amazing. Penguin 72 looks fantastic lined up behind these guys. James Leader representing the Zero Bandwidth group here today, not the Blue Gang, as everybody's taking a peek at Luke Baumeister because they are getting some good slipstream, and Penguin maybe trying to make a move on the inside of James through the S's, but thinks better of it, tucks back in, but hangs around the inside. James giving him a little bit of room just in case, losing out a little bit of time. The gap is now 6/10, but what's going on in the back? See a lot of action. Is Cheez-It, who is that? Zooming his Cheez-It mobile is what that's being dubbed from now on, hunting down Corey Robbins in a beautiful Gulf, that's for sure. This is gonna be some good racing. It has already been exciting. We've lost Patrick, we've lost Sid to the back, but there's still some hope there, and they can use some draft to get back and forth on each other and clean this up. I am looking forward to that. As the field is now getting separated a little bit, Carson Schultz being the cork in the bottle for Pasha Patterson. Maybe Pasha can get some of that draft and get sucked up to the front. And I think this is the Alley 48 of Schultz, and that is looking good. Ooh, who's that making a move? That must be, no, that's gotta be Willie. That was Willie in the Pepto-Bismol. That's Willie in the Pepto-Bismol going side by side with Penguin. When did this happen? Oh, Willie's got a wheel in the grass, but he's able to hold on. Holy Toledo. This is tight, no quarters given, not an inch too much. I'll give you a track's width, but nothing more, says Penguin. Fair is fair, and right is right, and rubbing is racing. That's for sure. This is beautiful. What are the leaders doing? Let's not lose our eye on them. 3/10 back. James leader down the front straight. Oh, as that's Penguin trying to cover off Willie, but he's not able to. But Willie touches the curb and loses it on the inside and forces everybody behind to go around. That's Schultze and Pasha Patterson. That's definitely going to close up that gap, and Schultze had to definitely breathe off the throttle to make sure he did not collect Willie there. And Zero Bandwidth's gonna be licking his lips going, thank you so much for that spin. You saved me a couple laps worth of work. Now this draft is really working as Martin gets a little bit squirrely on the backside of the track, giving up position up to Willie. Oh no. What is going on, Juan? Hello, and glad to see you, brother. Hopefully you can tell me if the audio, the video, something's not right or something's not looking too good. Or hopefully everything's looking fantastic and looking as good as this racing is, because this is spicy, that's for sure. Pasha, Patterson, Carson, Schultz, my co-commentator, and Saucepan Willie all getting wily into turn one. Everybody's getting excited as Pasha loses out a little bit, but still has to tuck in behind the Alley 48 of Schultze, giving him nice respect and giving him a lot of room. But, oh no, that's Martin spun out at the hairpin. Who did he collect? That looks like Corey Robbins may have been collected in that, unfortunately, and that's going to be smoke side by side. Oh my goodness, that was a Jumbotron. That's what we're going to call that. We're going to call that Jumbotron. That's Corey Robbins making up a position that he lost earlier in the race, but there's more action going on as Pasha Patterson and Willie going side by side into the final turn. Wow, Pasha hanging it around the outside and making that work somehow. Willie must have taken a big breath off the throttle to make sure that he wasn't going to drift out wide as Pasha held him to his line. Let's see if Pasha and Willie can work together to try to catch back up to Schultze. Let's snap back over to, nope, this is going to be the battle on the field. I want to go to Jordan White real quick as he's getting passed by Jeff Gibson in the beautiful St. Louis Cardinals colors, as he gives a lot of room on the inside to Jordan White just in case he makes the move. And he did on the exit though. Wow, side by side through the fast kink right-hander. Again, Jordan White's able to stay out ahead, but who's in that Red Bull behind? That's Roe Just Roe, nipping on the heels of the St. Louis Cardinals car of Jeff Gibson. This is what I was talking about. You know, how much are you willing to battle to lose time to the guys ahead? Because if these guys work together, they might be able to make something happen, as Willie is trying to make a move on Pasha again through turn one, is not able to make that stick as Pasha holds his line at the exit of one and into the S's and down into three. Looks like Luke has pulled out a healthy margin over James Leader. Let's see if we can get on board with him and catch the gravity of this chase. What a beautiful livery we have. All the colors are lining up. Even the seat matching the livery and design. The wheel also. The helmet also. Just a great picture as we're going to go back to Willie, as this battle's not letting up for a second. Pasha goes wide at the final turn. Oh my goodness, Willie's got a wheel on the inside. Is he going to make it stick this time? Downshifting as fast as he can, keeping on the throttle to keep the car balanced, and he's able to make that stick. So we're going to go back to Pasha Patterson. He's going to stare at the Pepto-Bismol colors of Saucepan Willie. What a move on the inside. Definitely had the draft and the speed out of that last corner to make that work into turn one. Move squarely done at the entry of, making sure he was clearly alongside of Pasha, not giving an opportunity to close the door on him. So we're going to change views as the banner's blocking that a little bit in this beautiful liveried zero bandwidth car, as I'm sure we'll hear and talk about later. As this race goes as the season goes on and we start interviewing more and more drivers on the grid. Couple 48s out there. I just realized. Looks like, oh, what's going on with Penguin? Is he okay? Yep, just having a moment. Just everybody crossing the line. Look at these 48 of Willie and the 48 of Schultze. Oh, this is going to be tight. Willie wants 2 in a row, baby. 1 on one lap and 1 on the other. Thank you very much. I need some points, sirs. Wow, Schulte's able to hold tight at the inside of that hairpin and not give Willie a chance to carry that speed, just parking it on that real estate. Not parking it, excuse me, just being there, present on the racing line, holding it there at the limit of his abilities that he can. Oh, and he's going to do it again. He really is doing a great job of just driving his line, occupying the ideal line where Willie's trying to be to carry more speed through to the next turn, but unfortunately, that's just not possible. This is spicy. Thank you so much for this entertaining night, folks. Appreciate all 15 of you guys, 16 of you guys coming out to drive these MX-5s, as there's going to be an opportunity for Zero Bandwidth to catch back up now, as these guys are still pushing each other off the ideal line just a smidgems. That gap is coming down to around 8/10 right now. From Pasha, excuse me, just so that we're clear. 6/10 as they enter the fast kink, about to enter the hairpin into the backside of the track. These guys are going to continue to keep pushing each other without any qualms or quarrels. This is a good time to do it. Round 1, race 1 of the new season. See how much respect and room and racecraft each other has, as he's able to get that move done. Schultze still hanging on. Holy Toledo. Unbelievable skill in racecraft, being able to keep off the thwarting attempts. Oh, right as I said that, I give him the commentator's curse, and he has a wiggle into the final hairpin on the backside, entering the straight, and gives it up to Willie, who might be able to stave this attempt off. And he is more than a car's length ahead into the final turn, but don't count out Schultze yet, as he's got to run himself, as he wants to have a slice of the pie. Oh, Schultze, where are you going with that? Willie leaving a lot of room for not one, but 2 of those guys to maybe give an attempt on the inside of one, but nobody quite taking that line. As, oh, Pasha and Carson are going side by side into the hairpin to 3. Schultze keeping that together and maintaining that lead. Pasha looking like he was trying to have a little shake and bake with that draft, getting it collected from the both of them out in front. Now, this is definitely what I paid for tonight, folks. Well worth the cost of admission. And just so we're clear, that's a joke. There is no price of admission. It is, and it is some interesting league racing, Juan. This is one of the most exciting and new leagues that I have seen in quite some time. They put in a lot of work to get these races together, and a lot of money is invested to make sure everybody has a good and a stable time here once the servers get rolling. And the quality of these races has just gotten better and better over the seasons, and the drivers have obviously improved their skills too. So That is all good things from a good community organization. As the gap has now grown from Schulte back from Willie. Ooh, White and Zumina getting close. Zumina in the beautiful Cheez-It student driver car. What do we call this one? The Cheez-It. The student Cheez-It car. Oh, as he leaves the door wide open for White to take advantage of. Looks like he'll be able to almost, as the leaders are almost done with this race. 13.6 laps. Looks like one more at least before we wrap this up. But we got Rowe nipping at the heels of Smoke, only half a second back. Let's take a look at all of this as the Cheez-It car loses out for sure now to Jordan White through that exchange. But Smoke having a hard time over the curves, opening up the door to Rowe, just Rowe, as he might want to take an opportunity to gain whoa, as Martin Noble takes a long deep dive, gaining both of those positions. Well, obviously these guys are out of the points right now, so maybe just racing for bragging rights. Let's go ahead to a points battle, as someone seems to have made a mistake. Nope, that's just the timing tower glitching out on me. I apologize for that jump scare. Pasha Patterson may be looking to get one more out of this as he goes wide to the curbing of the hairpin in through the kink. Ooh, hold on to it, Pasha. Golly, Josephine losing out the position to Corey Robbins on the last lap, unfortunately just touching the curb on the inside while on the throttle and spinning it up, but doing the best he could to hold on by locking up the brakes, not tapping the throttle to spin the rear around on him. Got no damage, thank goodness, but he did lose out on the place. He is gonna be knocking himself in the teeth for that during the next 4 minutes, as we have a little bit of a break between sessions now. And that should be the checkered flag. Points coming out, frustration coming out, as people are not happy with the way their drives ended up. Luke Baumeister getting the inaugural win for the series. James Leader tight behind, only a second and a half back over the 20-minute race. That was amazing. Penguin 9 seconds back in third. Willie fourth. Schultze in fifth. Corey Robbins in sixth. Pasha Patterson in seventh. Lion the Red Eel. Jordan White, Zumina, Martin Rowe, Just Rowe, Smoke, Jeff Gibson, Patrick, and Sid, rounding out the finishers here tonight. As I think we have a few moments, I think I'm going to try to grab Corey Robbins and see if we can grab him into the commentator's booth. See if I can do this effectively. Hey, Corey Robbins. Oh, hey, Corey Robbins, are you there? Hey, I've dragged you into the commentary booth. Hey, Corey, just wanted to ask you, how surprised were you to see Pasha Patterson spun out right there on the last lap at the kink? What happened before? What happened before where you guys had an interaction like that? Oh, no. Oh, no, that's right. Unfortunate. So you think that you might be the source of the bad times for Pasha. You know what will be the real test, though, is that we're going to have a reverse grid for race 2, right? So you're starting behind him again. So if Pasha has another big mistake, then it's going to be the curse is confirmed. If you're anywhere behind him, you're going to be he's going to be thrown into a wall or thrown off track or into a tire barrier from what we saw at Sonoma. Oh, the poor guy. Yeah, we're testing theories. We'll see. How's your race going so far, and what are you hoping for in race 2? Right on. Those were some good battles out there. The grid was super tight and close, and I was wondering when everything was going to settle down, and guys were just going to try to break away into some groups, but really didn't happen, did it? Right on. Well, that sounds great. Thank you very much. I'm going to dump you back into chat and try to grab someone else in the meantime. Anything else you want to say while I got you here? Alrighty. Good luck, Corey. Take care. All right. Let's see how much time we've got. We don't have much time, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and call this it, as race 2 is about to get started. We've got about another 40 seconds. Let's go through the starting order very quickly while we still have a breath to do so. We've got the reverse grid. We've got Patrick, Jeff Gibson, Smoke, Rowe. That's your first two rows on the grid, excuse me. We have Martin, Zumino, White, Lion the Red Eel, about where he started last time. Still Pasha Patterson behind Lion the Red Eel, about in the same place he was again. Race 1, Corey Robbins behind Pasha. Again, we're testing theories here to see if the curse is real or not. Schultze, Willie, Penguin, James Leader, and Luke Baumeister. Let's see if the leaders can make their way back through the field for race 2 to get another win under their belt. The lights are coming on. All 5 or 6 are there. And they're off, and away they go. A little stall from the Alley 48 of Carson Schultz as they are getting 5 abreast almost. Into T1 as Patrick leads the field through mostly clean. Jeff Gibson holding the inside line. Schultze getting collected and swallowed up by everybody else, going wall to wall, side to side. That's the back of the field collected. That looks like Luke Baumeister, Jeff Gibson, Carson Schultz, Rowe, Just Rowe, and Saucepan Willie all getting the stiff end of that stick, unfortunately. Jordan White getting a little sideways through the kink, also getting spun around, parked in the middle of the track, holding the brake successfully, losing out. Not the way we wanted that to end, but as everybody is going super deep, trying to be careful, Lion the Red Eel giving plenty of space on the inside, does not want to get collected in any collisions on this start. Who is breaking away? That's Martin. Breaking away or running away for fear of his life, it seems, as the rest of the pack seems to have tried to murder each other. And that's Jeff Gibson getting sideways on the exit, collecting again. I think that was Carson Schultz. It had to have been. No, who's in the other purple car? That must be Penguin. That is Penguin getting collected, and that looks to be a lot of damage on his car as he didn't get the best start. That must have been him collected with Carson Schultz early on too. Lion the Red Eel looking to make a move on James Leader on the inside of the kink. Yes. Oh, threatening, but didn't get it done quite so. The opportunity was there as Lion the Red Eel getting pressured by Luke Baumeister on the outside of the final hairpin. Coming to the straight, Luke Baumeister might want to make the move stick on the entrance of the final turn. He's alongside a car length ahead when he turns in. The Lion tucks in behind as best as he can, but he's got the Cheez-It Mobile right behind the student driver going wide. Still trying to figure out how the steering wheel works and where the track is going, apparently, as that's smoke getting hot on the brakes, spinning around into the runoff of one. As we have James Leader able to pull away from Bowmeister just a smidgen, but now he's held up by Corey Robbins. The beautiful lights on these cars lighting up the derrieres of others. You can see it reflecting so well. As James Leader's trying to be respectful, but is getting a little bit impatient as he makes the move stick through the hairpin alongside, but goes through. That's Corey Robbins into the grass, spinning up the rear tires a little bit too much, a little heavy on the throttle, and that's going to open the door to Luke Bowmeister, who might not be able to put up as big of a fight as James Leader did for the position, and Luke doesn't have to fight as hard, and James is going to get the poop end of that stick as Corey Robbins is pushed a little wide and onto the curbing, maybe touching that grass and spinning out on this straight. Oh my goodness, we're going to have to see what happened there on lap 3 with Luke and Corey on the exit of the last turn. Just might not been enough track there as the battle behind is getting exciting. The Alley 48 of Schultze going after the Lion Red Eel. And he's able to get that done on the entrance of the hairpin. And what's going on further back with Jeff Gibson and Carson Schultz on recovery drives Patrick not having a good time and pulling off on the inside of 3. Oh no, Corey going a little wide again, maybe having a little bit of a frustrating drive now as he's had to fight for everything he's got so far. Staving off any attempts from Jeff Gibson, as that's now clean and tucked away. Penguin maybe trying to make a move on Exumina. Zumina giving up the inside line, going well deep into the final turn, but carrying a lot of speed. He won't be able to catch back up. And that's Saucepan Willie hanging around in the shadows, looking to try to make up some positions and maybe collect some points at the end of this in 9th place. Good for him. Looking good. Let's see what else is going on. James Leader hot on the heels of a teammate. That is going to be Pasha Patterson. Oh, Pasha almost pulling out of the way for the team. Oh, and he tucks back right in to try to make sure he blocks off Luke Bowmeister, Mr. Pasha Fernando Alonso himself. Holy Toledo, I didn't think I'd see it here on race 1 of the championship. As he's going to try to hold the inside. No, that's Luke Bowmeister on the inside. And he's able to make that move stick, not being held up by Pasha at all. Pasha knows he wants to be right on the heels of Luke. Gain that draft in slipstream and just pull away from the guys behind. Build up whatever gap is possible and try to make as few mistakes as possible because Carson Schultz is gaining rapidamente style. I don't think he wants to give up. I'm curious to see who's got the fastest lap so far, and it looks like James Leader with a 101.76. Whew, he is Stamen out there, but looks like Luke Bowmeister in a draft and maybe some clean air might be finally able to take that away. Coming up to the line, he might be able to. He's about a half second up on his PB, but not quite enough. James Leader's setting another 101.76. Holy smokes. These guys are fast, and that's Martin spinning around, and that's the leader of this race, turned around at T1, trying to get back on track, but running Saucepan Willie off as he returns to the racing line, unfortunately. Oh no, as he's going wide again. The Cheesemobile unsure of what's going on to Martin in front. Let's get back to the Penguin, who looks to be chasing down the Lion Red Eel into the backside of the track. Just so I got it clear, that is the Lion Red Eel. Then it is, excuse me, Penguin's in the rear in the purple anime car. Then we have the Lion Red Eel in the stock livery, but plebeian badge car, the Castrol car. Oh no, as Penguin touches the rear of the Lion, spins him around, but Penguin's holding up right there. Good on him, but that's going to be race over for the Lion Red Eel as he gets spun around at the final turn and rejoins the track and is going to try to get going again and salvage any part of this race. And that's Jeff Gibson, who's also on a recovery drive. These guys will be duking it out for bragging rights, I believe. And they are going to be equally matched, I believe. So this is going to be interesting. But let's snap to the battle of Martin and Zumina. Excuse me, as my voice cracked like a 13-year-old kid. Martin and Zumina in the Cheesemobile. And Martin in the beautiful liveried as well Plebian Racing car, the black and red stylized machine. Gotta love to see the representation of the community. I think the Cheesemobile is going a little wide at the last turn, and that might be leaving the door open for Jordan White to make a move on the inside. He is carrying quite a bit more speed into turn one. I thought so. Side by side into the S's. Let's see who blinks first. Neither of them do. Cheesemobile locking up the brakes a little bit, but holding on to the apex as Jordan White holds it around the outside and is able to make it into the kink first. And who's on the throttle first? It's the Cheesemobile, but that spun up the rear tires and he got a little squirrely, and Jordan White's going to be able to hold on to the lead in the entrance of the backside hairpin, tucking it in, looking good and powering away onto the back straight. Let's see how much longer this can last for. Well, what I am surprised to see is that Luke Bomeister seems to have not had the pace to catch up to James Leader. That gap sitting at around 1.5 seconds. Oh, as I say that, commentator's curse gifted to James Leader and a chance opening up for Luke as a half second is disappeared as we talked about it. Oh, as Luke is pushing it to the limit. Back on board with Penguin, who's hunting down Corey Robbins, who's hunting down Zumina, who's hunting down Jordan White. Oh, is a big lunge into the final turn, but is able to get on the brakes, hold on to it, and make it stick. Penguin able to keep that together. I think so. Is he able to keep it through the last turn? Yes, well ahead. Does he make any mistakes through the final turn? No, but Corey Robbins isn't going to give this up, that's for sure. He wants a slice of the pie. But don't be eager enough to make a lunge. Corey Robbins trying to be patient about it. Ooh, as Penguin takes a look on the inside, maybe wanted to get a taste of the Cheesemobile, but decided to not. Maybe he doesn't know where those Cheez-Its have been. What kind of party is this? Don't you know about COVID? Oh, as the Cheesemobile is going super wide into the grass, lights at the tires, snakes back across track towards Penguin. Penguin's able to collect it, swerve away, and make the move happen on the straight, carrying speed ahead into the final turn. The Cheesemobile going wide again, missing the apex on the final turn and dragging Corey Robbins there with him. I know we were just talking to Corey Robbins. I'm sure he might be a little frustrated about that. Ooh, as the gap has come dangerously down on the leaders, let's get back on board to this. I'm so sorry. Holy Toledo. Luke Bowmeister and James Leader going absolutely toe-to-toe. Both cars having a little bit of damage. We might have missed a bump in the rump before. Ooh, James is on the brakes a little bit into the final turn. Interesting. Wonder if he's changing up his driving style for that. Ooh, James holding on the inside line of turn 1. Luke trying to go around the outside, is able to get side by side nearly through the S's. Oh, and they are side by side through the S's. Who will blink first? Not Luke, as he holds his line, goes a little wide, gives James just enough space, and is able to make the move stick through 4. Ooh. As Luke gets a little squirrely through the kink, sliding this little Mazda MX-5 around like as a driftmobile. That's James Leader's specialty, he says. Oh, this is exciting. I'm just gonna shut up. Oh, 3/10 separating the leaders right now. James has got to be wanting to get this position back, as we're going to have 2 laps remaining when they cross the line, and Luke goes deep and wide after hitting the bump in the track. Able to keep it together, though, on the curves. Maybe I'm naive. That's just the racing line. As Luke does it again, but lights up the rear end and opens the door for James Leader. But he does the same in sympathy as they get to the kink, and side by side they hold on, and Luke Bowmeister goes off into the grass, snipping a wheel off the track. Oh my goodness, James Leader around the outside trying to go for a switchback, but Luke is occupying the real estate James Leader needed to go to make that work, and they're side by side down the straight, neck and neck. This is going to be a drag. Oh my goodness, James is right alongside. There's not enough slipstream to make this work in the side. A breath of fresh air off the throttle. Let's see who's able to come out in front. Oh my goodness, James Leader's a car like that. Luke having a wiggle. He is well ahead into turn 1. Who's got the advantage? Nobody. James Leader going a little hot and wide. Luke getting the switchback completed side by side into the S's again. No, James tucks in behind into 4. This is where it happened before. Luke not making the same mistake twice. Is able to keep it collected out onto the exit of and into the kink. This is nose to tail, very clean and collected. Where can James make it happen into the final turn? Maybe. He's got to make sure he keeps it close here and now. What can he do to get a good run out of the second to last turn onto the straight? I don't think it's enough. He's half a second back. Let's see what can happen. As the checkered flag is out, this will complete the race. And race 2 is going to be decided in just a couple seconds. It's going to be Luke Bowmeister taking the checkered flag in P1. And again, James Leader in P2, just a half second back, 6/10. Getting P2. Pasha Patterson, holy Toledo, getting a podium here. Excuse me for sounding surprised, but that is a beautiful result for you. After not necessarily having the best finish after that costly mistake at the end of the race. Last lap of race 1. But congratulations for the podium on race 2. That's beautiful. Schultze with a coverage drive of the event, I would say. This is beautiful drifting going on by our 1-2ers. James Leader and Luke putting on a show. Hold on. Let me grab these clowns. Hold on. Stand by. James and Luke, I've got you guys in the booth with me. How is it going? Who is sweatier? That was the spiciest race ending battle I've seen in a long time. That was like just disgusting. I couldn't believe it. The best seat in the house to watch it too. I'm so excited. So, do you want to watch it back right now? I will end this stream right now. We will go do this. That was so exciting. All right, so let's just wrap up the stream. I'll throw you guys back in. Is there anything you guys wanted to say about that last lap battle? Because I was just breathless. I couldn't come up with anything to say. I was just like, I'm just going to let these guys keep driving. Shut up. For the record. Yeah. In race 2 for sure. Yeah, he did. Speedy boys. Yeah, only 6 cents separating you guys this time, and I think it was like 1.5 seconds on the first one. But man, that restart was spicy. Did you guys get damage on lap 1, or you guys were able to get out of there cleanly? Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw someone kind of miss the start and got sucked into the 4 wide on the start, and then yeah, that just got nasty quick. It's crazy. So all right. You don't say. So for the lawyers, are they on retainer out of the zero bandwidth fund, or how does that work as far as sponsorship goes? I just want to make sure that if I get on, I know how to spend my money. Okay. So lawyers are on retainer copy. Pasha pays. Alrighty, I'll throw you guys back in. Thank you so much. Alrighty, I think we've gone through the order so far. Just in case, one more time, Luke Bowmeister, James Leader, Pasha Patterson, your podium finishers for race 2. Carson Schultz, Saucepan Willie, Penguin, Martin, Corey Robbins, Jordan White, Lion the Red Eel making his debut tonight, Patrick, Jeff Gibson, Zumina, Smoke, and Rowe, just Rowe, having the only DNF of the race tonight. Excuse me, of race 2. I believe Patrick had a DNF on race 1. That's going to finish it up here tonight for us, folks. Let me see if I can get the championship standings and points going and see if they're updated very quickly. They are. So let's go ahead and announce those. This can't be right, is it? 14 points reference standby. Yeah, this is right. Cool. Just making sure that's the cumulative of both events. Luke Bowmeister in P1 with 29 points. James Leader with 25 in P2. Penguin in P3 with 15. But everybody back, this is going to be exciting. With closely paced people, very tight. So Penguin in 3, Pasha in 4, Schultze in 5th, Saucepan Willie in 6th. 14 points between Pasha, Schultz, and Willie. So only no points separating them. 1 point separating 4, 5, and 6 from Penguin right now. Corey Robbins with 8. Dave Martin with 4. Lion the Red Eel with 4 points as well. Jordan White with 4 as well. Zumina with 1. Patrick, Jeff, Gibson, Rowe, just Rowe, and Smoke with 0 points right now. This is going to be it for us tonight, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for standing by in chat, Juan. I appreciate you being here. And if you enjoyed this, please go to plebianracing.net. go ahead and sign up for our next event. The calendar is up. We have the Audi TTs coming up this Saturday. We are going to be at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium on the 4th of June, around the same time. Obviously, we're going to be in Belgium, so not the same place, but here electronically. And if you're interested in joining us on Discord, join us on Discord or YouTube and Twitch. I think that's all I've got to ramble on about tonight. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. And as always, please stay safe.